Good morning. Bienvenidos. Son upon 7. Yes, I think I got that correct. Yes, I did. Renata
Hopefully.
gave me the heads up.
I did
But-
not.
I know. But before the break, in case you missed it, we were joined by an awardee, Miss Monique Vernon, on her extraordinary work with Gobi and Friends. She's being internationally recognized by the Commonwealth Youth Awards, and she's one of the representatives of the Caribbean category.
Yeah.
Yes.
Caribbean.
And we look forward to hearing updates from her. She has done, extremely amazing work thus far. If you want to be a part of her project, you could go ahead, rewind that segment, and you could get all the contact information possible. And now we're moving conversation a bit to something that is very exciting for us here in Belize and for the Belize Police Department. We're joined here by the Superintendent of Police, Mr. Mario Alcocer, who's the commander of the Police Information Technology and Cybercrime Unit, something very new. And yesterday, they've just launched a digital forensic department. And we're here trying to understand more from him and how this will affect our crime and the capture of cybercrime specifically here in Belize. So good morning to you, Superintendent. Are you seeing us and hearing us?
Yes, good morning.
Hi.
I am seeing you and I'm hearing you loud
Great,
and clear.
great. And it looks like a sunny background for you there.
Yes, it's my backyard porch. So because they are doing some work in my house, so I had to go at the back.
Thank you for making time and trying to find the correct place that gives us a sunny side.
How are you doing this morning,
Quietness.
Superintendent?
I'm doing good. I'm doing happy of what we have done during the past days. So it's something new, something exciting. Well, not actually new because we have been doing it for the past couple of years,
Yeah.
albeit in an ad hoc way. But now we are doing it in a structured way. We have received funding from the United Nations on drugs and crime. And with the funding that we have received is for the building of the DFL. That's what we call it, right? The Digital Forensic Lab.
Okay.
And that funding involves getting software and hardware for the examination, the forensic examination of evidence like phones and other that are used by criminals, laptops, you name it, even IoT, Internet of Things, right?
Wow.
So all of that will be able to call it to extract evidentiary material from those devices used by criminals, not the citizens, just by criminals.
Okay, that's very interesting that you say that there, Mr. Alcocer, because in a day where, let's say, there's some not innocent, but I don't want to use that word. But, there's some person who decides, okay, well, today I'm going to commit a crime. If you're not tracking, if you know the criminals that are probably using technology to actually incite crime, in a day where, let's say, like I said, some person decides, okay, today is my day.
Yeah.
How is that able to be tracked if that is not being monitored?
In that case, we cannot probably track it live unless we have super sophisticated surveillance system.
Okay.
Targeting criminals, but we don't have that capability as yet, right? But certainly, everything that you do using a phone, whether you make a call, you send a text message, you whatever, and instant messaging, you are leaving footprints, okay, digital footprints, whether it's in the cloud, whether it's in your device, but you are leaving footprints, and that's the footprints that we look for when we do forensic extraction of devices of suspected who committed the crime.
Okay. All right.
So basically, they can't, if they delete it, because there's a lot of ways, you could try delete, and even in the cloud, they try delete from the cloud or whatever it is. It's never really gone.
Never gone.
People
yes.
never know that. It's never really gone. So you can be able to track still, even if it's been deleted, and to understand what's happening.
Yes, and the tools that we have been donated is to do precisely that, right? Try to even cover deleted data, right?
Wow. So, in regards to the personnel that have been trained to do this, did you bring in new people? Is it the same people that you have here? How was that process when it comes to the training of people to use this equipment now?
Yeah, the process has started. I will say 2-3 years ago when we started with the idea, because this process started in 2019, and where we had a cyberbullying workshop, and it was sponsored by the then former special envoy for women and children and the UNODC, and they were in Belize, and then we as stakeholders we attended that meeting, and that's where we asked for Khalid for the requested for assistance. So all of that started from that point on. So from that point on, we have been getting capacity building. We have been getting training. Okay, because we were geared to building this, and then we had people from my unit. Because if you work in my unit, you must have technical background.
Yeah.
Okay, so you must have at least have an associate degree when it comes to Khalid in IT. Okay,
Right.
at least an associate degree in IT. And then we form you there, right? We put you in a technical field, for example. We put you in a networking, we put you in system administration, we put in computer repairs and so forth in our unit. And since then, we have noticed that to the ones that have been doing good, and those that will compose the team, make up the team that will be working at DFL. And this goes further from that.
Okay.
We are building that's called the PC3, which is the Police Cybercrime Center.
Yes, that was what I was hinting at when I did
Yes.
the intro. So I want to hear that
And then
too.
the digital forensic lab will fall under that, will be just another unit within that center. So
Okay.
it's very complex. We'll have computer incident response teams, we'll have cybercrime investigators, we'll have analysts. But I know that it's a process that will take 2 to 3 years. So, but we have to start with something, okay? Like I said, I like to mention that perfect is the enemy of good. That we cannot to wait until we have everything perfect to start. We have to make a start. So that's where we are at this juncture.
That is very interesting. But I want to touch on the topic now. You said that you've been in training for about 2 to 3 years. Has there been any positive, or not positive, but has there been any actual following as to a crime and any capture as to any crime that has occurred during this time?
Well,
that you
yes,
could share?
crime does not stop. Crime does not stop. We have been doing the police officers for example, from major crimes, from what's the other unit? E-tips, the anti-trafficking in humans unit.
Right.
All of these are bringing, CIB has bringing, for example, digital recording devices that we do extraction. They have been doing phones, but like I said, because we didn't have the tools, we were operating in limited function. Okay, just what we could do at that time. But now with more structure, we have more equipment, we'll be able to do more in-depth analysis and so forth.
I love it.
Great.
And yes, and I can tell you something. The Mason case,
Yes.
it's us that did they call it digital extraction, and it was accepted in court, and it was done by a notable figure that worked with us, Harry Noble, and his expert testimony in court was admitted, hence the conviction. It was not publicly acknowledged, but I'm saying it now. It's based on what he extracted, what he put together, what he was able to show in court, resulted in the case being tried and the guy found guilty.
I mean, there we go. That is a huge success story already.
Congratulations, yes.
Yes.
That is a huge success story.
No,
Yes.
Superintendent, I really want to tell you, thank you for telling us that, because, we wouldn't know that offhand.
We don't know what's happening in the background. Yeah.
And so great work for your gentlemen, for everyone, for all the police officers, actually, that are doing phenomenal work, because we don't know these things unless you tell us. And I can honestly tell you, and I want to say, I love the fact that you can clearly see when you're talking, there's so much passion in your voice that you love this. I can clearly see.
I love it. And I didn't want to mention it, but I'm retiring. But
okay.
because of my expertise and so forth, looks like they will continue. I will be more
Contract
years here
basis.
doing what I love. Because I love what I do. It's my passion, and I have been striving I started several years ago. I started with the Police Information Technology Unit and our crown jewels, the Crime Information Management System, which we have done, call it a major upgrade the other day, and we'll be revamping all the modules and using the latest technology too. So that's aside.
Wow.
That's something aside, right? But speaking about the DFL now, and what will be happening too, that will separate that the IT unit will remain as IT unit, and the police cybercrime center will form a separate entity.
Okay.
Interesting. Superintendent, in regards to that, because I want to go in a little bit deeper into what the Cybercrime Center will be really doing exactly. So I know you mentioned how because of getting this new technology, so you're going to be doing more forensic analysis and so forth when it comes to the phones, laptops, and all of that technological aspects. Is there other plans for this Cybercrime unit center, to be doing? Is there other?
Oh yes, yes. Because the DFL will be doing just digital extraction, doing analysis and so forth, okay, to bringing evidence to present to court and so forth. But then you'll have another section, because it will divide it in several sections or units within that center, and you'll have the dedicated cybercrime investigators, okay? You'll have that. We'll have, and then within that you'll have a subunit dealing with only CSAM, children's sexual abuse material.
Wow.
We'll have yes, we plan to do that, and then we'll have the CERT, which will be the computer security incident response team. And if like entity get hacked, then we'll be able to go there and see who hacked it, who is doing what, who is doing denial of attacks to companies, who has hacked their website, who has hacked their infrastructure, and that's separate too. And then we'll have the analysis team, doing research and doing proactive, going on the internet and seeing who is doing cyberbullying, who is being proactive about that. And then they will pass the information to the cybercrime section, who will be conducting the final investigation. So it's very complex. It will take years to evolve to that point. But like I said, we'll have making a start now.
Superintendent, thank you for clarifying all of that. And a question raises in my head about the fact that just recently there was the defamation amendment bill, which was put towards the media as well for their consultation. And one of the things that Minister Fonseca was saying is that for those persons who go on the comment section, probably on the aliases or fake profiles, the trolls, would that be something that the Cybercrime Center and the Digital Forensics Lab be able to track to see probably location as to where this is coming from, and possibly investigate more into that?
That will fall right under our purview.
Great, because that is something that they were voicing as a concern, but now that I'm hearing this, look like the trolls, they really have to be careful as to what they're doing.
Well, yes, because we have the Cybercrime Act, and then the bill that you mentioned will complement. Okay, that's what we'll do to complement. And we have been using the cybercrime of late. Okay, in fact, just last month, our unit arrested and charged a female in Sagnaso for using computer system to publish computer data that is obscene and vulgar.
Wow.
And that resulted in her conviction and a fine of $2,000 because she was posting things on Facebook and cyberbullying people and doing that, right? So we have been doing several things that perhaps does not reach the press, but yes, we have been doing insights. We have been doing some work, and I wish I just wait to state it.
I love the fact that we're highlighting these things, because these things, like I said, they don't really make media, or they're not huge news per se, but this is a huge development here in Belize, especially when it comes to cyberbullying. Yes, we've had the Cyberbully Act passed, but we haven't really heard much
anything to come from it.
coming
And I
from
think
it,
a lot
right.
of people have been saying,
Exactly,
"Oh, we just have
exactly.
this act, and we're not really implementing anything." But to
Yeah,
find out
who's
that
doing-
last
exactly.
month
Right.
you actually
Exactly.
made an entire arrest and a fine and all of that, that is
Yes,
incredible.
yes.
I think people need to know these things, because if they
Yes.
don't, they're not going to know that, you know what, we're not just talking the talk, we just don't have a document.
Right.
We're doing something too as well.
Indeed.
And so I really have to thank you for sharing that with us, because I'm sure people are like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that could possibly happen."
It's
Yes.
extraordinary what the
Yes.
lab
And
and the
we
center
have-
is doing.
Presently, we have several cases under investigation right now for fraud, online fraud cases. But sometimes the victims don't like to approach police. They don't like to do that. They just accept the loss, and because it's kind of embarrassing, you know. And this Nigerian scamming and so forth, all of that. Even they call it the skimming using credit cards. All of that will fall under our purview.
So Belize buy and sell, the scammers there. Wanna better watch out, because definitely.
Yes, we have done investigation in that regard, or assisted, because sometimes we cannot be dealing with all those type of crimes. But what we'll be doing will be assisting the local police, the uniform and CIB in tracking those devices, providing them with information, providing with the material that we have extracted or tracked on the internet, and providing all of that to them so that they can do a good case too.
Well,
This is
Superintendent, I just want you to know
mind-blowing.
you're like blowing our minds
Yes.
right now. I'm hoping you can see our face, because like we're
Really?
just
Thank
here, we're so thankful, and like we're just shocked that like we didn't know all of this to happen.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
They need to
yes,
post
it is
this
happening.
more on the police department page too as well, because there's a page
We
where
will. We will.
Please, because
will.
there's like a lot of positive news that are on the police department. I know the PR has been doing
Yes.
phenomenal work, but these are other
Yes, he
stories
does.
too.
He's doing that good. He's
This
doing good.
needs to happen too as well, so people can know, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know what's going on in this realm.
Like I said, the Cybercrime Act was passed, but nobody has really heard anything from it. But now that we have the Digital Forensics Lab and the Cybercrime Center, and you're telling us some of these things, especially that Mason case, that would have been something that we wouldn't have known until you said that just now. So, I mean, kudos to that. And kudos to your entire department there.
Yeah, congratulations on the great work that you guys are doing.
Yes.
We thank you that, you keep the ball rolling and you're getting the training. And I know you've mentioned in the cybercrime center how much you guys want to put in there. And I know you've mentioned too as well that it's going to take some years, but we understand, because to do this work, it takes time, it takes equipment, it takes human resource.
Precision.
It takes precision. It really takes a lot. But to know that we're still getting things done, it's not just like we're wishful thinking. We can see stuff happening now. We can see that, of course, that it'll take time, but we're going to get there. And so I just
Exactly.
thank you for
It
that.
will take some time. But like I said, we have to start. They have to make a start, and it's happening now. But the crucial thing is that we are getting the support of the government. We are getting the support of the commissioner. We are getting support from the public, especially from the victims. So I'm excited about it, and I will be here for some time too.
Awesome.
Great.
If you have any final words that you want to give, because I know you mentioned that sometimes victims don't come forward. Is there any message you want to give to people out there when it comes to, cyber crimes, how you'd want things to be handled, or how you want them to be acting in those instances?
Yes. What we plan to do in the next couple of months is to go district by district, and then sensitize the police officers how to, when somebody reports something that deals with cybercrime, how they should deal with it. Okay, how they should approach it, how they can act towards the victims, who they should report it up, and so that, because the victims, I know for a fact, I've been told that they go to police station and they say, "Oh, we cannot deal with that because that's beyond our technological know-how and so forth." But we have to sensitize the police officers first, then we'll have public awareness campaigns too. But I would like to tell the public that yes, you can go to the police station. You can make a report, okay? And then just ask that in fact, you can mention me. You can say my superintendent says that you can go, that you can take my report. And then you can refer it to us in Belonfan. We'll be taking care of that type of incident reporting.
I love that. I like how superintendent said you could mention me, let them know, it's true, because you're right. Some people probably are pushed aside and said, we can't do that. But I'm liking the fact that you're going to go to the police officers, educate them on this, let them understand, and then do the public awareness. And Stand Up on 7 is right here for you to be able to do that, roll out the public awareness. If you want, there's methods or there are steps that they need to do, let us know when that
Yes.
time comes so we can be able to show that for the people to understand.
Last year or the year before, we had campaigns that we did, and it was Interpol. Because I want to tell you something. I'm the president of the cybercrime heads of the Americas. I'm the president of
wow.
of that organization, and we did campaigns. The Interpol did it in our behalf, and then we shared that in Spanish, Portuguese, and English, and we share it via Facebook. We did share that, cybersecurity campaigns, cybercrime campaigns. We did that too.
So things are happening. But again, thank you so much, Superintendent, for being here, for taking the time and for highlighting so much great work that's happening. We would never know any of this if you never tell we. And so thank you for highlighting all of that. Commend you guys on the great work. Keep doing the best that you guys can. And like you said, we can't strive for perfection because perfection is just like goods, what is it? Is goods enemy or something like that, because we're at least
Right.
getting...
You're
Okay.
waiting for everything to be perfect. The moon, the stars, the equipment, the acceptance, the money, and all of that, right? And if you wait for that, that's never going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, very true. And so next time we talk to you, we would love to have you on the couch. Our coaches, we've been told, Compal has said our coach is very comfy. So, I mean, I'm saying next time around, right? So we're hoping to have you
Yes,
back again.
Sure,
Thank you so much, Superintendent.
Thank you too. Thank you very
problem.
much for the invitation.
No
Thank you.
problem. And so with that,
Bye-bye.
we go to our next commercial break. When we're back, we're going to be having a very interesting open-ended question and be a part of that. Stay tuned.